I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
All right, let's do it. It's time for Discover New Music. Very excited for my guest today. And I will say this as I kick this off. Anytime I talk to an artist from another country, another part of the world, I always like to apologize. As a Midwestern American who will probably butcher your beautiful language, even your name. So just have grace with me as a guy who says things like bag and you betcha, that I don't always get the pronunciations as close or as good as they should be. Is that fair?
No problem at all, man.
All right. Well, joining us from Sabaton, Joakim Brodén. Joakim, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's talk the new album. And actually, hold on. Before we start this, in my research, I did want to say you and my 4.5-year-old daughter have something in common, big in common. You both fell in love with Twisted Sister, and We're Not Gonna Take It at a very young age. So maybe she'll be a metal singer just like you.
Wow. That's cool. How old was she when she discovered Twisted Sister?
She's 4.5 right now, and we started watching it when she around 4. She saw Dee Snider and all the stuff, and she was immediately just entranced by it. And now she goes around singing "I Want to Rock" and "We're Not Gonna Take It" when she's playing. So it's
that's exactly my story as well.
Right there? Yeah, I saw it at a young age. You saw it, and I'm sure as a young boy from Sweden, it probably blew you away when you saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was 4 actually when that was released. So I was somewhere between 3 and 4, and it was "We're Not Gonna Take It" or "I Wanna Rock." I don't remember which music video, but it blew me away. And
And here we are right there. Well, I'm glad it worked out. And I tell you what, if she becomes a metal singer, I think Daddy will be proud. All right, let's talk Legends. 11 studio album from Sabaton, 11 tracks, coincidentally. Yep. I do want to ask, because again, anybody who knows the Sabaton kind of setup or your very unique niche in the metal world, if you will, is historical events. How did the 11 legends get decided on? How did you pick these stories from history that you wanted to put on this record in the legends?
Wow, good question. It's actually a mix. I would say some of them were sort of chosen by the music, sort of that. Let's see where the music is going. We knew we were working with legends. We had a big pile of them, and we sort of saw how this one has got this epic church choir vibe to it, and we were planning on making Templars. So already when starting to write the song Templars, we leaned into that. While others, it's like when we talk to somebody who's interested about military history to make an album about legends, obviously you're going to have everybody's going to have their own personal greatest hits, sort of, if you will. Right. So people like Julius Caesar aren't really far, when we're thinking about that.
Yeah. It's super interesting, and I love it. And I did a deep dive in, the Sabaton library, and it's so cool to see these things you bring to life. It got me thinking, though, and you could probably shed some light on this. When you look and just let's take Legends, for example. You take these massive events, these huge events, lives of people, like Made of Steel. It's the life of Joan of Arc, and I Emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte. How do you take these massive things and condense them down at 4.5 minutes? That's quite a task.
That's a great question. I wish I had an answer. To be honest, it's all very different. It's impossible. I mean, Julius Caesar, such a well-documented figure and such an important figure who did so much. How do we condense that human being into, let's say, 3.5 minutes of metal? It's not possible. So you have to decide on a song-to-song basis. How do we tell this story? The I Emperor song about Napoleon, we told that from first-person perspective. So that's sung like I am Napoleon. Mm-hmm. Others, we have a song about Hannibal, Lightning at the Gates on the album. And legendary commander. We could have sung about the Battle of Cannae and all of these things, but the song had the vibe and the sound to it that it felt like this is perfect for him, and the imagery of him crossing the Alps with elephants. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, the music decided which way we were going to tell the story. And sometimes, these are, legends. Doesn't really mean they're good people. So sometimes it's interesting to go into dig a little bit deeper on the dark side of them as well, especially when talking about Vlad the Impaler and stuff.
Right. Yeah, you have a track about that. So, and kind of to jump off of that in this sound and picking these legends and telling these stories in these metal epics, whether they're 3.5, 5 minutes, whatever long. Why, in your opinion, does metal, this very specific sect of the music world, this genre, why does it work so well with history?
Well, I have an answer, but first, this specific sect of music, that's the best description I ever heard. Wow.
Well, good. I'll take it.
That's a cool phrase. I might just steal that from you. But no, I think, well, when it comes to military history and our style of metal, I don't think it goes for every kind of metal, but they speak the same emotional language. Because in our style, let's say we're based on basically 80s classic heavy metal. No matter if we're talking Twisted Sister, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, that's where everybody in the band has the same inspirations, Yeah. And with this kind of music, the emotional spectrum is going to be the same as we have in battle. There might be joy and elation. It might be hatred. It might be aggression and depression. And all of that is, at different songs at different times, obviously, present in our music. So I think it's a good match. And on top of that, I think there are so many fantastic stories in our past that are being forgotten. So instead of singing about dragons and beer, we thought, hell,
World War II or Vlad the Impaler, either one. What do you
Indeed.
And dragons or beer, still great things to sing about too. I'll never turn away from that.
And to be fair, his nickname was Dracula, means literal meaning little dragon.
Yes, there you go. See, that one thing you will learn listening to Sabaton and this, you'll learn stuff in this as it almost tricks you because you're sitting there just rocking out and you're like, oh, I learned something here today, and I think there's something to be said for that.
The world's sneakiest history teachers.
Right, sneaky history teachers. There's history teachers could take a lesson. Maybe just throw some crazy drums and a crazy guitar solo in there. You'll get it figured out. Have you always been this interested in history? Is this something that just you found to blend your two loves together with the music and the history and just making this very cool, unique mesh?
No, it might look that way, but it's actually not that. I mean, I had a normal interest in history, I would say, a little bit nerdy, but nothing special. But writing lyrics was always a necessary evil for us. We loved the metal, and but lyrics were super boring in the beginning. But then we had a big song with a big sound, and that's a song that became Primo Victoria, which is about the D-Day landings. And when we only had the music, we thought this is a big sound to it. We can't sing about bears or boobs or whatever, So we thought we need a big subject, and we chose D-Day. And all of a sudden, it made sense. Because we were singing about something real that mattered. So all of a sudden, writing lyrics wasn't a necessary evil anymore. And we thought, hey, maybe we should make an album about military history. And that was 20 years ago. Yeah,
and 11 albums ago. So it seemed to stick. It seemed to stick.
Yes, indeed.
Well, again, Legends from Sabaton out on the 17th, and 11 tracks, a very cool history lesson for everyone out there. And you touch on a lot of things like we talked about, dark stuff, Vlad the Impaler, more epics and Joan of Arc and the lightning. I'm sorry, the lightning at the gates. Lightning at the gates.
Hannibal.
And Hannibal and all these things that are really, really cool and wide reaching. Is there anything you won't touch in history that maybe you're just like, this is not for us, the subject matter, whatever it may be?
Not the subject, but it might be a time restriction. If we go too far back in time, we're moving too much into myth and, legend, but not, fiction or myth. Because, on this album, we have a song about ancient Egypt, Senusret III. It's called The Cycle of Songs. And, they were a very advanced civilization for 1,800 years before Christ. They had a writing system. So there are still documents that live on, that we can find today. But I don't see us being able to go much, much further. Maybe if we go to I don't know, older civilizations, you know, if we're talking maybe the Byzantine, that's later, obviously, but Sumerians, yeah, there might be possibilities, but that from that part of the world. But also, I think if it's too current, because what we try to, I mean, we're controversial enough without getting into politics and religion and all that. Let's be honest. So we figured we're not gonna deal with anything that's too current. We want, because we're very passionate about history, but it's important to remember we're amateurs, not experts and historians. You know.
Yeah.
So we need historians to lean and use their material as our research.
Yeah.
And we found out when traveling, I mean, we internationally touring band, and we've been, no matter if it's been conflict breaking out or if it's been elections, no matter what it is, depending on where you are in the world, as we've been traveling, you know, maybe we were in Japan, Sweden, and the United States, for example, while something was unfolding. How things are portrayed in media in different countries are very, very, very different. To avoid that bias, and you know, no, I'm not saying fake news here in that sense, but it's more like things are being, when things are hot, stories, all the media wants to be fast on the stories, and we need sort of the expertise for historians to have looked at a event, so we can, let's say, objective historian, if there's such a thing, at least I'm a historian with no skin in the game.
Right. When you're too close to it, if you're too close to it in the moment, you know, you got to take time to let the full story unfold from someone who's, you know, that just looking at it from all angles, and not just a secular one. So
exactly. So you can't really have, you know, only one side telling the story. You need to, you know, some time has to pass. Some, in many cases, the people who are there, they're not getting heard in the first couple of event, you know. But a couple of years or a decade later, then maybe,
well, again, a really, really cool album that has been put together by you guys, and we already have a handful of singles out, but we'll get the full album, Legends, on the 17th. Do you have a favorite track on the record, or maybe one that speaks to you more than the others?
It changes on a day-to-day basis, and to be honest, when you make an album like this, towards the end when you're mixing it, all you're doing is looking for problems and, you know, mistakes. So an album becomes a collection of unresolved mistakes, it feels like. But at the moment, I would say it's probably The Duelist about the samurai Miyamoto Musashi, because there was so much more to him when I dove into the research of writing the lyrics and finding out that he was not only a samurai, so not only a warrior, but he was also an author and, you know, leaning heavily into philosophy. So I had to sort of incorporate that into the lyrics. So that was a big, well, what do you call it? A little bit of a journey of exploration, sort of, while writing it. I don't know. I think it might bias me towards that song somehow.
Well, I love it. It's been a lot of fun. And like I said, while I was doing my research on here and listening to the tracks that are available now and watching the music videos, and it's really, really cool. And I think we're in for a big treat on the 17th when the full album gets dropped. And then you guys, I know, will be busy out there supporting this. Final question for you. Anything that historically you've wanted to touch on, but you just haven't found the right time for it, that maybe we could see after Legends and in the near future from Sabaton?
Well, on this album, there was one person or a legend that was on my sort of top 3.
Okay.
And we didn't have, there was Alexander the Great. And I know it is like a crime that he's not on here, but it's not for lack of trying. I had this great theme and idea, but unfortunately, the rest of the stuff I wrote was pretty shit. So I want to get back to you on a later date, and every fan listening, you know, that yes, I want to finish the song about Alexander.
I love it. Well, we can't wait. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Last question. Now that we've talked about legends again on the 17th, and we're going to do a quick Swedish rapid fire specific just for you. This has to do with pinball. Are you still playing pinball, and any plans to make a comeback competitively that we can see from you?
I'm still playing pinball, but competitively, no. There's no more time. Unfortunately.
You've hung up the plunger and the silver balls for now, at least competitively. That's what it is.
Yeah, but I love touring in the US for that reason, because you've still got so many great barcades if you visit. With some of them, they have so many great classical machines, you know.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Well, hey, if we ever get together, I'll dump a quarter in and we'll play a little pinball wizard. I love it. All right, now that we have the important stuff out of the way, again, Sabaton Legends out on the 17th. Joakim, I want to do a Swedish rapid fire. And this is just, I'm going to do my best with your Swedish roots and the band Swedish roots. So let's start off simple. Roxette or Ace of Base?
Roxette, easy.
Stockholm or Gottenburge?
I don't want to get killed, so I'm going to pass on that one.
All right, I've learned something here. I'll keep that in mind next time I talk to maybe Tobias of Ghost or Johannes from Avatar. I'll keep that in mind.
There might just be a slight bit of rivalry there.
All right, I'll leave you be. I'll keep you safe. Volvo or Saab?
Volvo.
Very nice. I'm going to do it. Falukorv or Gravlax?
Both are good, but since I am from Falun, it's Falukorv.
Falukorv, because that actually originates from where you're from originally. So it's it's
a big mining area, and they needed oxen hide to make the lines where they lowered the workers, you know, for the winch. And I think one of those lines were 200 oxens, and whatever, they didn't use the meat, so they just mashed it all together and whoop, sold it.
Falukorv was born. I love it. What about this? Gottenblandet or Bailar?
Gottoblandat.
Gottoblandat.
Yes.
Is that what you're going to pick? I like it. They're just Swedish candy for anybody wondering.
Yeah. Bilar, the other one is cars, actually. It's a Swedish word for cars.
Oh, I didn't know. See, we're learning. I've learned so much today alone. All right. Last one, a little Swedish folklore. A troll or a dwarf?
Ooh, good. Troll, I think.
Troll. Okay. Okay. I know that mythology is there anything else maybe I missed on the mythological side that would be better than a troll or a dwarf that would you prefer to pick?
No, I mean, most of them, I mean, trolls are more prevalent, I would say, in Scandinavian or Nordic history. So
what's the good looking female one? That's a Huldra? Is that what that is?
Huldra?
Huldra.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be good looking, but yeah, we have those.
Okay.
Well, legend says we have those.
Legend says you have it, which brings us back to, of course, Legends from Sabaton coming out on the 17th. Joakim, thank you for humoring me. More importantly, thank you for talking new music from Sabaton. Again, Legends, it's out, and really excited to enjoy this when it officially drops and take it all in, man.
Thank you very much for having me, man.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.